Centre Invitational is coming up Saturday. Going to be a big day for, over 20 teams here, probably 7 hour meet. How excited are you, Annie, and you, Rhoman, for the meet Saturday?
Oh, I'm really excited. I've been a little bit sick this week, but hoping to get back in there. Maybe set a school record, possibly in the steeplechase if I can run it. We're really excited. Big meet, which is awesome. Good competition.
Speaking of school records, you kind of got your eye. You got one. You got your eye on one too, don't you?
I did. Yeah, I got the 100-meter record. So hopefully, I can push on that and drop that down more and get the 200 record too.
Now, I've been told the 200 record is what you really want. Why is that more important to you than the 100?
The 200 is probably my favorite event, but it was hand timed in like 1980, so it's a little lower than sort of what I've done before. But I think with some practice, I can get down to it. It's a little more of a challenge than the 100.
Are you saying the hand timed are a little bit tougher to beat because they tended to be a little lower?
Yeah, I don't want to take away from anybody else, from the person who has the record now, but I do think it'll be a little harder to get it now. But I think it's achievable.
You talk about you hope to set a record in the steeplechase, but how do you decide what events you're even going to do? I mean, how many records do you have?
Right now I have 4, I think.
That's ranging of everything from the 800 to
1500 indoor to 5K outdoor and indoor. Yeah.
And so now, before we go on with the 5K that you just ran, what time did you do that in?
That was 17:22. Yep.
I can't even understand that.
Yeah,
I mean,
that was a big deal for me.
I used to be able to get to the 2 mile mark in 17:32. I can't even. That's what I mean. And now you're doing that. I mean, that was just boom.
Yeah. It was a fun race. It was definitely a lot easier to do because Serena and I were running it together. So she was there right with me the whole way, and then with 3 laps to go and I started like falling off a little bit, she was like, I'll take it from here, and I was like, okay, yeah. So then she kind of like brought me into that so we could break it together.
I mean, she took it, then you went past her though,
yeah.
right? I mean, you didn't exactly just say, go on and go win, Serena, I'll just follow you
well,
in.
Yeah, she knows we're both very competitive, but it's a good thing, it pushes us.
But again, back before I interrupt you, how do you decide which event you're going to run and which meet?
I usually talk to my coach. I try not to do too many long events right in a row. So like I would never do a 5K one weekend and then a 5K another weekend. So I just kind of vary it up. I haven't opened up in steeple yet, and that's kind of the thing that I want to be the best at, I guess, because it's a little less competitive in D3, so that I have a better chance of making it to nationals. So I still need to open up with that. So hoping to do it this weekend. We'll see.
And yet I've heard there's a little thought in the back of your mind that you want to be conference runner of the year,
yeah.
Which means when the conference meet gets here, what are you going to attempt to do in that time period?
Yes. Okay. Well, I'm going to attempt to do 5K, steeplechase, which is a 3K, 1500, 800, and 4x4.
That's in about a 24-hour period?
It's 2 days. So.
Yeah, but I mean, it's Friday night and then Saturday, so it's not like you've got
to.
Do you like to try that with her?
All those events, I think it's crazy, like seeing all of our distance people run like 5Ks and 10Ks. Like sprinters, we just stick to our 20 seconds. That's all we can do.
Yeah, big meet for you. What's the 100, 200, and the 4x100?
Yeah, and then if I have to run the 4x4, then I'm like dreading it the whole entire time. But so 1 lap is probably my max.
And so then she runs 5 just to warm up.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I mean, it is hard to believe a little bit. Now, Rhoman, I heard one thing kind of interesting about you two. I hope this is true so you can explain it to me. But I heard, did you start a sign language club here on campus?
I did, yeah. I started a sign language club last year, and it was a little slow last year, but Annie always showed up to the meetings even if she was the only one, so that was good. So that's something that we have in common.
Yeah.
So what led you to want to do that?
I came here and I was like, oh, it would be cool to help out with some sign language stuff. I was like, do we have a club? And they were like, well, we actually don't. So I was like, okay, I guess I could take this as an opportunity to actually start something, because I'm in the Bonner program, so we sort of focus on community service. So pretty much that's just what I do for my community service for the Bonner program. So it works out pretty well.
So if we had some deaf folks watching the video, can you give them a little message here? What would you?
I'll say,
Well, that's good. Yeah. So Annie, how did he get you to come to the club?
Well, I didn't know Rhoman at first when we first came in, and some of the girls on the cross-country team knew him. And they knew he was starting this club, and they knew that I know a little bit of sign language. So they were like, hey, Rhoman's looking for someone to help him because he doesn't know that much. He's learned a lot since then, obviously. And so he contacted me and was like, hey, would you be wanting to come? And I was like, yeah, of course. So I've kind of helped on the side, but he's done most of it.
So how did you already know a little bit?
In high school, I was a sign language interpreter for a choir, a ministry
Okay.
choir, and then I took sign language 1 for my
Okay.
high school. I was fortunate enough to have that.
Well, that's pretty cool. Both of y'all were multiple sports in high school. You played football all through high school and even played 1 year here. What was there about football that you liked, and then why now are you happy just to be strictly track?
Well, football was like, I've done it forever, like done it for my whole entire life. It was just, I felt like I was good at it. It was just, I don't know, that was my favorite sport for a long time. And then once I got to center, there's a lot more different time commitments that I had, like doing a sign language club and just school in general. So track sort of gives me the flexibility to, you know, if I can't make it to a workout perfectly on time, I can still get my workout in at a different time if I have another meeting or something to go to. And it's just sort of less physically demanding in the sense of I'm less likely to have injuries and stuff, and I feel like I'm just healthier.
Yeah. Now, you've got one of the more interesting recruiting stories I've heard, even for Division III. You were a basketball and soccer player.
Yep.
You decided to run track as a junior.
Mm-hmm.
You had a sister that was in school here,
Yep.
but wasn't an athlete, right?
Yeah.
Wasn't an athlete. The track coach, Lisa, happened to hear her talking about, hey, my sister's come out and running track and doing pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
And she said, hey, how about if I go make a home visit with her?
Yep.
And you never ran cross country in high
No.
school. And so now, all of a sudden, here you are at center running
Yeah.
and loving it. I mean, that's an incredible story.
Yeah, it is.
Is that all true?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much all true. I played soccer for 13 years, was a soccer player, kind of always enjoyed the running part of it and was like, oh, I think it'd be fun. So about my senior year, I emailed a ton of coaches and was like, hey, would I be good enough to run on your teams? Not really knowing what I could do. And the coaches at the other schools were like, yeah, but Coach Owens was like, come right away. I would love to have you, like, come, I'm going to do a home visit. And she was just so excited to, like, be like, yeah, you could be anything, that I was like, yeah, I'm coming here. Yeah, so.
So you think you owe more to your sister or or to Lisa?
Probably to Lisa, yeah. Yeah, my sister didn't do that much.
Well, she at least got your name.
She went here, yeah, so, yeah.
And so, Rhoman, I know you've had a very successful career already here with what you have done and all, but what do you think can kind of lie ahead for you the next couple of years?
I think sort of just being consistent. That was my first 100 race of the year, so I feel like I can do a lot more. Like, I can really drop the record down a lot, and once I get that 200 record, I'll feel pretty good. So I guess just working on the same events. I don't plan on doing too much more distance. I might try a 400 in the future. But for now, just sort of like focusing on those events and try to get the times down.
And Amy, I asked Lisa about if there's a chance you'd get tired, and she said no, that you were the most competitive, driven person that she'd ever been around.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I guess it's just full steam ahead with all you can do the next couple of years?
Hopefully, yeah, as much as I can get done, yep.
Yeah, and also,
That's the goal.
well, the weather's supposed to be good Saturday.
Yeah.
Come on out. I think the meet starts at 9 o'clock. We'll probably go to 4 or 5 o'clock. We're going to see you set a record in the steeplechase.
Hopefully.
We're going to see you set a record in the 200.
Hopefully so.
Okay, well, let's guarantee it. Let's just go ahead and guarantee it. Okay.
Guarantee it.
On Saturday, right out here.